Hi, within this lecture, we're going to see how to work with terminal. And terminal lets us run commands from within inside Kali Linux. And when we run these commands, we actually tell Kali Linux to do what we tell it to do, and they execute this command and return us the result. So what do I mean? Let me show you. If you go to this terminal, click here, it will open for you. And you can just go here to view and zoom in if you want. I'm going to do that in order to make it clear to you. And when you type commands here, it will get executed by Kali Linux. Like what? If I say ifconfig, for example, and hit enter, it will tell me the latest IP configuration of my Kali Linux. And these values do not matter right now, okay? You don't know how to read this, I know. But what I'm trying to tell you, when I type a command in here, it will get executed by Kali Linux. For example, if I write clear and hit enter, it will clear the screen for me. And also, we can use this terminal to browse through files and folders within Kali Linux. For example, if I type pwd, it will show me the current working directory. So I'm in the root folder right now. And the root folder is this folder. When you first click on files, you see the home folder, which is the root folder. So if you type ls in root folder and hit enter, it will list the current files and folders in that root folder. As you can see, I see the exact files and folders when I click on here and browse this, and when I type this to my terminal. Suppose that I want to go to documents folder, okay? I have to say cd and bring a space here and type documents. And it has to be exactly the same with capital D and documents. If I write this with lowercase d, it won't work. It has to be exactly the same, okay? If I hit enter, it will go into the documents folder. Now, if I type ls in here, it will show me the content of the documents folder. In order to confirm this, I can go to here and click on my documents folder. Now I see this content that I see in here. So I have previous files in my documents folder. If you don't have anything, when you type ls, it won't give you any result. For example, let me show you what I mean. Let me close this down. And there is a command for creating a new folder. So it's exactly the same thing as right-clicking in a folder and saying a new folder, okay? And it's called mkdir. So it stands for make directory. After you say make dir and type your test or your folder name and hit enter, it will create this folder for you. You may type ls to see the current contents once more, and as you can see, we have now the test folder in here. Now I can do cd test and hit enter to go into that folder, and if I type ls, it won't show me anything because test folder doesn't have anything inside it. Okay, so maybe now you're understanding what I mean. So let me run clear one more time. So right now I'm in the test folder. What if I want to go back to documents? I can type cd and bring a space and then hit ... And if I hit enter, it will go back to the documents. Now if I want to go back one more time, of course I can do cd ... to go back to my home folder. Now maybe I want to go to desktop, and I know the desktop is there. If I just write des and hit tab, it will autocomplete it for me. So if I hit enter, now I'm in the desktop. And if I run ls, it won't show me anything because there's nothing on my desktop. So let me go back to my home folder one more time and type ls. Now let's suppose I'm going to go into downloads, okay? Say cd downloads, and as you see, it auto-completed it for me when I hit tab. Now let me clear the screen. So not only you can browse these files and folders with this technique, but also you can run the commands and applications from inside the terminal as well. What do I mean? We have our leaf pad in here, right? So if I click on it, it will open the leaf pad for me, where I can write some things like test, 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 and save this as a text file. But I don't want to save it, and I don't want to call this from here. Maybe I'm trying to open an app which is not placed in here, but I have to go to here and search for it. Rather than that, I'm going to type leafpad in here and hit enter, and it will open the leafpad for me. Now if I type anything here like test, test, and if I save this file from here to my downloads, for example, and say test, 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 and hit enter, it will save it for me. Now if I close this down and type ls in my downloads, I can see test, test, test. In order to read this file, there's a command for that as well. All you have to do is just type cat, okay, cat test, test, test. And if I hit enter, it will show me the content of that test. So it reads the file. So let me hit enter one more time to have a clear line, and let me run clear. So if you hit up arrow in your keyboard, it will show you the latest command that you have called. And if you just hit it one more time, it will show you the previous command, and goes and on and on. You can use the upper arrow and down arrow in order to just browse the latest command that you have called in your terminal. We're going to learn a lot of commands throughout the course, so I'm not going to waste so much time in here. I just wanted to show you the feeling of this terminal. And when you freshly install a Kali Linux, it's always a good idea to update the files and folders and libraries inside of that Kali Linux. In order to do that, you have to call something called apt-get, okay? So let me type what I mean, apt-get. So we use this command in order to download some modules, download some repositories, and we're going to learn how to do that within the next sections. But for right now, we're going to use this command in order to update our Kali Linux. First, I'm going to call apt-get update and hit enter. And as you can see, it's now reading the packages and it's updated for me. And since I'm using this Kali Linux all the time, it may have been a little fast for me. Maybe it will take some more time for you. But after you run apt-get update, I suggest you run apt-get upgrade as well. And this will complete our upgrade and update process. However, as you can see, I got an error. Not necessarily it means that you're going to get this error as well. I know exactly what this error means, but I'm going to show you how to deal with errors in general cases. So when you have an error like that, all you have to do is actually copy this error, okay, and go to google.com from Firefox and paste it in Google to search it. So there are a lot of resources on web telling what kind of an error is this and how to deal with it. So let me paste this error from here and click enter. As you can see, I have a lot of results here, so let me zoom in a little bit so you can see it better. As you can see, I have something from ubuntu.com, I have something from TechMint, I have something from FAQ, forge.com, and everything. So let me go one of them. You can browse the other ones. As you can see, some people asking, I'm getting this when I run apt-get. This is exactly what happened to us, okay? And let me go down to the best answer in here. It says that, okay, I have something that might resolve your issue, okay? And there are a lot of other results as well. They are all trying to explain what this means and explain how to resolve this. So let's try one of these actually. Let's go back to the best result in here, the one with the most voted results. So let me copy this, okay, and go back to my terminal and paste the command and try to hit enter. As you can see, it got executed without an error. So let me go back to other commands here as well and copy them and paste them in here, and it got automatically executed for me. So these commands actually removing the log files in my computer, and these log files block me to run these apt-get commands. So maybe you don't know, or maybe you didn't know how to do that, okay? So maybe you don't know what rm means. It stands for remove. So when you type rm and then a name, a file name, it removes that file. But not necessarily it means that you have to know every command. When I get an error, I went to the internet, I read about explanations and possible solutions. I'm not gonna spend so much time on it, but I just wanted to show you, if you get an error at any point in the course, you may find answers very quickly on the internet. And of course, if you cannot find any answers, you may come to the Q&A section and ask them to me. So when I try to run apt-get upgrade again, as you can see, now it's running. So it says to me, you want to continue, say Y for yes and N for no. I'm going to say Y and hit enter. And since it's going to download a lot of packages, a lot of upgrades and updates for my computer, it may take some time. So you better pause the video here and continue to the next lecture, where we are going to learn how to change our Kali Linux password.